Are we live? Are we on? Are we on? Oh, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever in the world you may be watching. It's another edition of the Sunday Bunch live. Joining me on the panel tonight, we've got Conrad, Emma, and Terry, all ready to talk everything Sunderland Football Club. So, Conrad, how has your day been today?
It's been all right. I've been roped into, and I do mean roped into, we've got to put the Christmas tree up today, and we're still in the middle of the living room taking.
Early, man.
I will say she is away next weekend with the little one, so I think that was the weekend to do it. So I said, let's go back one, and she went, no, it's got to come forward. So that was the logic.
Oh, well, Terry, have you been putting Christmas trees up?
I'm not going to have one in my house this year. Nah.
Hey, Scrooge!
I'm going to bin mine. Mine's going in the skip tomorrow.
Good. Oh, no, man, you've got to have a Christmas tree. I mean, ours goes up last minute and comes probably Boxing Day, like. But I know that Emma's probably had her tree up for about 2 months now. Is that right? Probably.
1 week.
Yes.
1 week, and I finished everything else yesterday.
All right. How's your day been anyway? All right?
Yeah, apart from finishing off a couple of little Christmas decorations, cook some cookies and cupcakes with a Ben. That's about it. You'll
have snow up your end, have you?
No, it's all melted.
All right, okay. Look, we are live, which means you can have your say. You can join in the show via the live chat if you wish to do so. Already first up, as he always is, the last Palmer Smackham is there saying the bedwetters are pissing their beds. Fickle, apparently. All right, Peter Solkal is there. DJ Sizzler Watson on there. Even our very own Emma, who's on the panel, is on the live chat as well as Conrad. And Stephen Thornton there as well, saying all the medical emergencies stopped our flow. We will get into that. We are off the top. I don't know if you watched the Leeds game today, but that 90th minute, I'm jumping about the living room going, get in like that, and then bugger. Anyway, yesterday, Millwall won, Sunderland won. What do I want to ask before we start? I think we'll start with Terry. Would you have taken a draw at the start of the game, Terry?
100% yes. 6 first teamers out from the previous game. Yes, I would have took a draw all day.
Is that it? All right, okay, fair enough, Conrad.
Yes, it's a simple question, so that's the answer.
All right, okay. Well, I like to keep them simple for the simpletons. All right, Conrad, would you take a draw yesterday at the start?
Yeah, beforehand, I think we were talking about. I think there was something in the back of my mind telling me not to take a draw because of our 3 previous draws and slipping up at Coventry. So I did really want us to press on, but no, beforehand I probably would have taken it.
Yeah, I think it's probably the opinion of most people. Emma, would you have been happy with a draw before kickoff?
Absolutely, 110%. I thought we were in for a hammering from Millwall, so I'd take the point any day.
Yeah, I mean, I did. I mean, on our predictions, we have our predictions. I mean, I never, ever back against Sunderland, but I even had a 2-1 Millwall win. But I did say, I hope I'm wrong. But the thing is, and all day, I said to our lads that I'd be over the moon. I'd be over the moon if we got a draw, even. But then the way it went, it was like a loss, wasn't it? It was just, we were just so close. But anyway, 2 medical emergencies. And I don't know if any of you know of the condition of how either of those people are. Has anybody got an update on them?
I read somewhere that apparently one was an asthma attack. So the one behind the dugout was an asthma attack. And the one that everybody could say it was somebody that had a seizure. Don't know how they are, but that's what I've read. I don't know how true it is.
Well, okay. Well, whatever it is, we wish them well and hopefully a speedy recovery. But what I do want to say, and somebody has touched on it anyway, how the medical emergencies stopped our flow and stuff like that. But before I go into that, it's like we had 2 half times, and I don't know if it's in the rules or whatever. But we had that half an hour break or whatever, came out, played the 4 minutes or whatever it was. And then we went off again for another 15 minutes. you'd have thought, like I said, maybe in the rules, I don't know, but you'd think common sense would say, play the off for half an hour, play the 4 minutes, have a little huddle, and then get back on with the game again. Conrad, do you agree with that, or do you know was it in the rules that we had to do that?
I think it's in the rules that you have to sort of play the minutes that are there, but it seemed to suggest at one point when the two managers were talking, they sort of seemed to suggest, oh, we'll stop the game now and we'll put the 5 minutes on at the end of the whole thing, so that the second half was a bit longer. But I don't think it's their choice to make. I think it's got to be that the refs have got to go, no, we've stopped it at this minute, you've got to play this minute. But I mean, I don't know about you, Terry, but Emma, you probably saw me trying to pad for fucking 45 minutes yesterday, half an hour of just sort of padding while nothing happened on the screen by myself on a stream, and you were probably the same, Terry. And then when it went to half time, you'd used all your gear that you had, and you were like, right, well, can I please sit in silence? So, if everyone's all right with that. It was it would have made more sense to just go, let's call half time now, however long it is, and we'll just play it at the end. Yeah,
I don't envy you. I'm sure, great job you did keeping it going, but
I didn't feel it.
Yeah, I'm not. I know they were saying, can you not add that time on to the second half? And I know they couldn't do that, but it was just a case of, for me, they could have played the 4 minutes. They'd already been off the field for half an hour. They could have played the 4 minutes, and then, like I said, had a little 2-minute huddle on the pitch, and then started the second half and done it like that. Look, before we go any further, I want to give a shout out to Dawn Staveley, who's donated £5 via the super chat. Can we have a round of applause, please, for Dawn? As we said many times, of course, it doesn't make a profit, this channel, and any donations are gratefully accepted. They can be done as Dawn has done via the super chat. If you want to do that, there's a little $sign at the bottom of the chat. Click on that and you can donate, and all donations are gratefully accepted. Emma, I mean, did you agree with how it was done half-time? Do you think we could have just, did we have to have 2 half-times?
Well, I even messaged Conrad in the chat. It would make more sense just to sort of add it on at the end of the first half. And I thought, well, they've been off for so long. Is it not just a case of, right, come back out, play them couple of minutes, like you say, a couple of minutes, a quick drink, quick huddle, swap ends, and away we go again. I didn't see the point in having such a big, another half time effectively. I mean, I know it wasn't another half time, it was officially half time, but having another 15-minute break, I didn't see the point, because I think that potentially did affect our game.
Well, as per usual, it seems like common sense has gone out the window again, and it's I mean, even at half time, both sets of fans started booing when they went off again. I mean, they'd already been stood for half an hour. Terry, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I think the main thing was just say it's half time. Have you 20 minutes or whatever it takes, or until the fans okay and ready to get on with it, and then just play those 4 minutes, swap ends, and get on with it. It just seems like common sense doesn't prevail in these situations. Like the referees are robots; they've got to go by the letter of the law. There's got to be some sort of something put into the rules somewhere to say, like, let's have a bit of common sense in situations. Because players can get injured, got to come out, warm up again, then go off, then come out again and warm up again. It can't be good for the players for starters, and making the fans wait around another 15-10 minutes when they're already late doesn't make any sense for the sake of like 4 minutes. It's just absolutely bizarre. But like I say, for me, officials are just robots. They've just got to go by the rule books, haven't they? There's no common sense at all.
I mean, you can't really blame the officials. It's like you said, it would be nice to have something in place where you can say, there's a bit of a grey area where you can say, look, use a bit of common sense and, in that situation. But the chances are, they were the rules and they probably didn't have any other option. Just very quickly, if we can go to the chat, Stephen Martin. I don't think we will finish top 2, in my opinion, guys. Already people are writing us off. Oh, we've dropped a place. Oh, my God, that's it. Up and all that. Oh, goodness sake. There is someone else on here. Where's it gone? Gary Hoyle. So disappointed to hear about Dennis Serkin and his broken wrist. That one came out of the blue. Does any of you know any more on that? Anybody?
I don't think it came out the blue. I mean, he's been wearing a sort of strapping on his hand for 2 or 3 days, and sometimes you can get over with a bit of a fracture, but clearly he's obviously in too much pain to carry on for a bit, isn't he? So
I think someone said he'd had surgery on it now, so maybe he played for a bit. Nice thumbs up there, and then probably just thought in the international break we'll call it a time now, especially if they knew Elise was on his way back, but he's always a risk that he'd be out for however long shortly.
It was just it's another one of those, isn't it? I mean, we've like we've got all these injuries. I mean, we say we're the draw specialists. I mean, 4 in a row, but really, and were we 5 points clear? And yes, all right, we're off the top on goal difference at the moment. But I think I don't think it's really a time to panic.
And then them seem to be going against us at the moment. We seem to be going through our bad run of form, I think, at the moment, where we're just not really finishing off games. If we draw away, win our home games, you'd be happy. But, we dropped 2 points against Coventry, and we'll see where we stand. I think we'll have a good idea where we stand after the next 2 matches.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not too disappointed. There's still nobody grabbing this league by the throat and running away with it. And I thought a few weeks ago, actually we are, and we're starting to open up a gap. But we've had these draws, but they've not been defeats. Terry,
we've said it before in the past. It's like Sunderland never the same team in 2 different halves. So regardless of what happened yesterday with the break and play, that doesn't really happen very often, does it? So it's one of those situations. It's the same for both sides. It's how each side reacts. We were much better in the first half, but in the second half, we were the second best team.
Yeah, definitely. Look, we've got 73 people at the moment on the stream, and we'd like you to just hit the thumbs up. We try and hit 100 likes if we can on a Sunday. So if you don't mind just hitting the thumbs up, take a second to do so. And of course, more importantly, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed to the channel, that'll take you a second to just hit that subscribe button. Free to subscribe. And we are on our way to 10,000 subscribers, which we would like to try and get to before Christmas, if possible. A couple of people mentioned Connolly down here. Harry SAFC says, good that Connolly's off the mark. Gary Hoyle, pleased Aaron Connolly got his goal, but he's still way off the pace. So Aaron Connolly, I mean, I've said all along, maybe he just needs that one goal to open the floodgates. Conrad, do you think he's going to start banging them in now? Do you reckon?
I don't know. It depends on his injury that he came off with. I've been quite critical of him since he's come in, but I was absolutely buzzing that he scored yesterday. It did seem a bit like he certainly played better for us with 2 up top, and he seemed to be organising the pressing with Isidore and Watson. And I thought, actually, if this is what you're going to bring to us, this is actually what we wanted. But you clearly can't play up front on your own. And then he seemed to go down with some sort of, he was pointing to his leg, but every time he was walking off, he was talking about his eyes or his vision. He kept sort of talking about, when he's clearly sort of pointing to his eyes there. So I don't know what dragged him off, but hopefully he does. But I think if he's gone away and with the players coming back in from some suspensions, we'll revert back to the system we've been playing before the 4-4-2 that it was yesterday.
Yeah, I have problems with my eyes. Have you seen my wife? I'm only kidding, man. She's gorgeous, man. David K says, great goal from Connolly. Did he get injured? Yeah, we're just talking about that now. Terry, is this going to open the floodgates for Aaron Connolly, do you think?
I'm in the same boat as Conrad. I think he's not a player you can put up front on his own as a striker. I think I was really impressed and surprised with the 4-4-2 yesterday, especially with so many players out. And I think if that's how we play in the first half, if we can get that going in the second half, I'd say why not play 4-4-2 more often? And then obviously Connolly can feed off Isidore, they can help each other out. And I think Mienda for yesterday, I thought he looked really good. And so I think it was quite positive in the first half. We just need to learn how to sort of keep it going for 2 halves. But yeah, I think maybe 4-4-2 does help Connolly out. And I'm pleased to I was over the moon. He scored that goal. It was a good finish. But we seem to get injuries for fun at the moment, don't we?
Yeah,
Can I just say it was really fun seeing the lineup, and all week we've been thinking, well, who's he going to play if he's missing? Who's he going to play if he's missing? And we just went, do you know what? Bollocks to it. 3 strikers on the pitch, have that. It was actually like really nice just to see us go, all right then, let's hide our weaknesses maybe by putting all our strength up top. It was actually really refreshing to see.
And when you looked at the team sheet, you thought to yourself, well, actually, we don't seem that weak at all. We look quite strong to be honest. So like maybe it isn't all doom and gloom at the moment. We get 3 players back for Tuesday night.
Yeah, right. Just very quickly on the chat. Harry SSC has got his starting 11 for West Brom, but we are going to come on to that soon anyway. Mac Mullet Man is loving your top, Conrad. It's amazing. There you go.
It is a good one.
Yeah,
proper sickly green, but the things come off of it. But sickly green.
I can't wear any of the greens.
You'd just be a floating head.
Otherwise, I'd disappear. Exactly. Emma, is that it for Connolly now? Are you going to be his biggest fan? Is he going to be banging these goals in or what?
It's there to be seen. It's there to be seen. I mean, like what Conrad and Terry said, it's worked with him having somebody to work off. So I think it depends on when he plays, who's on the pitch, to be honest with you, and potentially what happens in training. I'd like to see this be the start of him banging the goals in. I really would. But ask us again in a few weeks and I'll give you a wholehearted answer. But right now, it's there to be seen, in my opinion.
Well, it's no good. We cannot ask you the answer when you know that. We can't ask you the question when you know the answer already.
It's like Emma wanting to give her predictions once the team's out.
Yeah, if he's got two hat tricks over the next 2 games, you know, I mean, then obviously the answer is yes. He's going to start banging them in. All right, we go on about second half Sunderland. What happened after the break? Why does this happen? I mean, Terry, what's your thoughts on it? I mean, up until when we had the medical emergencies, we were doing great. We looked comfortable. We were the better side and everything. But even the 4 minutes when we came back on, the 4 minutes left of the first half, we weren't even in the game then. And then second half, we was hardly out of our own half. Terry, have you got?
I've had a few Millwall fans come on and say like the manager had the right act with them after the first half and went mental with them. Basically, you know, they were off the pace. They were kind of maybe surprised by our formation, how we played our football, and you know they weren't at it at all. And sometimes it takes a half-time rollicking for a team to really wake up and get at it. In the second half, they up their game, simple as. And we struggled. And sometimes you have to give credit to other teams. That, like, you know, we took them by surprise. We put a lot of effort and a lot of energy in the first half. And I think second half, they just came out and they woke up and they started playing their game of football. And, you know, they're a difficult team to beat. Having lost since October the 1st, they always draw 1-1 or win 1-0. So it was always on the cards to be like a low-scoring game. And for me, for having 6 players out, I know I was devastated at the end. I was gutted at the end, like most Sunderland fans were. But, you know, look on the cold light of day, having 6 players out to get that kind of result against Millwall away is a pretty good, fair result at the end of the day.
Yeah, like you said, I think everybody was gutted. I mean, you know, when that goal went in and I'm swearing at the telly and all that, and Karen's going to me, well, you said to me at the start you'd be happy with a draw.
It's always the case, isn't it? It's like if they scored in 50 minutes, you'd be over the moon with a draw at the end of the game.
Well, that's it. It was just...
And especially when Alexic had that chance to make it 2-0, I think it was.
Oh, well, it's just... Well, she said that to me and I went, what are you talking about? You haven't got a clue, man! And all that. But, yeah, it was frustrating. Conrad, have you any idea? I mean, what are we doing? Like I said, 2 halves are never the same, but I mean... It was particularly noticeable yesterday. We were very, very poor second half. Have your thoughts around that, or was it the fact that Millwall were just a lot better?
They certainly upped their game second half, but that's what we have to expect. Has been the times we've been ahead at half time this season. Each team has come out and tried to give us a bit of a go. So I don't think it's just we sit back and that's what we do. I think we do make a calculated effort to go right. See them out and then we'll hit them on the counter. If you think back to Sheffield Wednesday, 3-0 down at half time. They came out and within 2 minutes we were past them because of their high line and we made it 4-0. You know, the whole game we're thinking, right, they're in this. They're going to want to win this in front of their fans. We take our chance and we break out. And I think that's what we seem to be trying yesterday in the second half, to sort of go, let's soak it up because they're clearly going to push. They're clearly going to want this. It didn't seem to come off that well for us, apart from the one chance where, like Terry said, Alexic got through. And I think the first touch that he sort of did, he even looked all the way to the right to be like, I've got no one with me. He didn't look like, I want this one-on-one. He looked like I wanted someone to square the ball over to. But I do think it's probably part of his plan to be like, we soak it up and we break out because of the players and the pace that we have, because it's happened too often now for it to be anything else. But I'm a bit like Terry. I'd like to just see us go, do you know what? You did really well there. You suffocated them. Let's try and keep going with that on there. You don't change it just to sort of what they might do. You know, just doesn't sit right with me.
You have to remember as well, I mean, let's face it, I mean, at least he's been out injured for a long time. He comes back and he's got to play 90 minutes. I mean, you're lucky he doesn't get injured again. So for me, he's going to get tired towards the end of the game. You've got like, so Connolly hasn't played a full 90 minutes hardly. And other players that have come in. Watson's never played a full 90 minutes before for the first team. And
well, we were saying in
Meander's been injured and he's come back. And the likes of Alexic, he should have been given minutes in previous games to get him up to the speed for when he has needed, like in a game like this.
Yeah, this is exactly what we said. We said in our stream, we were like, if Alexic had played a handful of minutes in one game, handful of minutes in another, he'd have looked a bit more sharp on the ball. He wasn't scared about putting a tackle in, so I was quite impressed every time he sort of went in with someone. But he just looked a bit like, I haven't played football for a while. I don't know quite what I'm doing. But someone also went, why didn't we make any changes? But, I mean, our bench was a creche, essentially, with who else was on it. We didn't have... You've got Bar and Ashish who'd had minutes before. The rest of them not really played any football, and you're going to throw them in under the cosh against Millwall. The other part was, like you said about being tired, we got caught out because two of our right-sided players were up the pitch and they couldn't get back to that Aziz, not Aziz, the one who crossed it in for him. They just couldn't catch him when they were sprinting back, and it was the one time all our defence was facing our own goal in the entire game because we pushed out and we got caught out with a ball across that at least they had two people to pick out, and he went to the middle and the guy at the far post was the one that put it in. We just, like I say, got caught out in the last.
I mean, when you're in the 92, you're in the stoppage time, you shouldn't be leaving the back door wide open in the first place. I mean,
I don't know where he's been great this season. He's been great this season, but I don't know where Luke O'Nien thought he was going at that moment, because Alexic had that chance. I don't know who else had sprinted up with him, but as soon as they played the ball at the left back, 4 players were out of the game. And O'Nien had pushed up to, I think, try and win it. And that was it, one ball, and they were through on all of them, like sprinting back towards their own net. It just looked like we'd come out at the wrong time, and it caught us out.
Right. Sorry. To be fair, Phil, I think we'll go through the whole season and we'll never have again, I would have thought, 6 first teamers out in one game. I think it's just the circumstances. I think under that extreme circumstances of half your team out, I think a draw, and you can see in cold light of the day, it's a pretty good result, to be fair.
Yeah, right. I think I said to you, sorry to interrupt there. I think I said to you, Terry, didn't I? That was like, I'm really disappointed. And it's because of the 3 draws that we've had and the manner that we've had, especially the last draw, that it just feels awful, this one. And it feels harder to take. But like you said beforehand, you'd take it. But it's the manner of how we're getting them.
And you can't be harsh with the players, to be fair. You can't be harsh with the players played,
the red card against QPR, and we hold on. Fair enough. That's all right. Preston, he messed about with his starting 11 and moved Isidore out and Connolly's first game up top and Watson on the right. And it just felt weird, the whole thing, and it didn't work. Coventry, you go 2-0 up at home, you're cruising, and you let it go. And then this one, you're 1-0 up and you sit back and you invite them onto you. They're just disappointing draws. Do you know what I mean? When if we'd have got them back in the other way, we'd all be absolutely buzzing at the moment.
Right, let me get back on the chat and then we can see what people are saying on here. David K is saying if Isidore goes clean through instead of Alexic, we win the game. Katie, I'm asking about Ballard. We'll get onto that just now. Gary Hoyle saying we still have to remain positive, guys. Everyone has a dip and hopefully ours is over now. and we can kick on again. Matthew Cutter says, missed Job the last 2 games, offers that bit of grit in midfield and wins the ball just outside our own box, went under the cosh. And David Common makes a comment. I don't know if you know who David Common is, but that to everybody is Dave the Rave there. And in true Dave the Rave fashion, I'm not sure I understand this, but it says 121 but drew 11 next Sunderland versus West Brom. Whether that means drew 1-1, I don't know. Anyway, but that's Dave saying we're playing West Brom next, something like that. Emma, any thoughts on why we were so bad second half?
I would have loved to have been a fly on the dressing wall, because I think he's just set them, look, we've got this game in the bag, just sit back.
To be a fly in the wall,
so
isn't
you can
it?
see the lads.
That's in his tight shorts.
Oh, you dirty cow. Go on.
But it was just like, you turn around and set them, look, we've got this in the bag, just sit back a bit, don't put pressure on them. And it's so annoying though, because it's like, again, this game, it was in our hands and we've screwed up yet again. Do you know what I mean? And we've had these last couple of draws and it's starting to really, really cheese me off. The fact that it seems like we're just sitting back and it's becoming what Sunderland used to be, a team of 2 different halves. You never know what team you're going to get first half, and then second half it's going to be a different team. And that's starting to rile me a bit, because I know we are better than this.
Well, I don't know if it's like I said, if it's part of the other side sort of up in the game or whatever, but we do need to sort it out. Right, quickly want to get on to Alexic then. We've waited a while to see what he's been like, and he got a good few minutes on. So what are your thoughts on him? Was you impressed, not impressed, or what, Emma?
He looked all right. I think he needs more game time to come out on his own. I think we need to see him working more with the players to then see the potential that he's got.
Right, okay. Conrad?
Yeah, I thought he looked quite good. Like I said before, he's not scared to put his foot in. I think was he one of our only players to get a yellow card, and he played the least amount of minutes out of all of them as well. So he wasn't scared to put his foot in on some challenges. I think getting him up to match speed, he'd probably be there quicker and get those tackles in. It was nice to see him spinning behind and get that space for his chance, because I didn't see Rig or Neil breaking from midfield like he did, but he seemed to take Connolly's position as up sort of front alongside Isidore at times. I don't know if you sort of noticed they were side by side really for large periods, but it's nice to see him, and I think it was sort of a forced hand that we had to give him some minutes now, with Brown being out for about 6 to 8 weeks. I think they said he is our next midfielder in line, isn't he? So I think it was a case of they probably thought, actually, we need to give him some minutes now because we're probably going to need him in the next few weeks.
Right, okay. I thought it took him a good few minutes to sort of get into stride, because when he first came on, I thought, oh, but then for me, he wasn't too bad. Terry, your thoughts on him?
Yeah, I think we'll go back to Rig there. I think Rig had a different role yesterday than what he did when Joe plays as well. Like, he didn't have the freedoms getting forward as he would normally do when he'd been 2 in midfield. I think Alexic's kind of sort of being let down a little bit by the club by not giving him minutes up to this game. I know he played about 90 minutes. I think he definitely played for the under-21s during the week, I think, for his nationality. So he's obviously fit enough to play. He just needs to get used to playing with these players. And I think, in hindsight, I think it's a wonderful thing. He should have been on like 10, 15 minutes a few of the games beforehand. But he's obviously promising, and hopefully he'll get better. It's a good experience for him, and he needs to play more game time, so he needs to be brought on in games coming up.
Derby and Oxford games where we were cruising, he should have been on 10, 15 minutes at the end easily.
Right, okay. Like we said, we had lots of injuries.
Somebody's at the front door.
Sorry, that's just Amazon delivering.
On a Sunday, 8 o'clock Amazon.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Right, we had a made up team. Injuries and stuff like that. What about the lads who came in? Somebody mentioned Ballard being back at in the back. Your thoughts on him? Tommy Watson, stuff like that. What are your thoughts on the people who stepped in? Terry?
Yeah, I think they all had a good first half, didn't they? I think the majority of them had a good first half. I thought the back line looked quite solid. It's good to see Alexic back there. He's out of position at left back. Ballard and Mepham, it's decent partnership. O'Nien had a good game on the right hand side. Watson again, they're good experience for him. Good to see him on his preferred side, the left hand side. And I thought, Mienda did well on the right. So overall, it's like I say, it's just a game of two hearts, isn't it? I think it's experience. I think now it just depends on what was said at half time, whether, like Emma said, whether he said basically let's get them on the counter attack, soak up some pressure, get them on the counter attack, which didn't really work, or they just got a little bit tired and a little bit sort of the experience wasn't there for some of these youngsters. And obviously it's a young team with Rigg, Watson, Mienda. There's a lot of young players on that side, so I think they'll get better with experience. But at the end of the day, I'm going to bang on this all the time. You take out 6 of your first team players. I mean, I think the draw is a good result.
Right, okay. Conrad, I mean, we're impressed. I mean, we can only go on the first half, really, because, I mean, that's where we looked best. Who sort of stood out for you of the lads who stepped in?
Of the ones I actually thought Watson was really good, and it was actually nice to see him actually taking people on and having a go at people. Normally when you get a youngster and you want him to be very like, play this way, you do this, do that. It was just nice to see that he'd sort of thought, I've seen Mundle, I've seen Clark, we like to run at them, we like to cut back, we like to have chance like this. So I thought he actually played really well. If this is the Mundle that we'd have seen against Preston, Watson, that we'd have seen against Preston a few weeks back, might have been a bit different, although he was on the other side. Mienda did really well, considering he's as a forward coming in on the right-hand side. I didn't think we looked any different than when Roberts is there, apart from he went on the outside a bit more than Roberts does. Roberts tends to cut in and try and have a go or do something with his left there. He got in behind his man quite a few times, so it's probably the two wide men for me I thought did really well.
I have got 2 issues and 2 worries for Tuesday. Isidore took a couple of knocks to the ankle and he was limping around a lot. Whether that sort of flares up over the next day or so, and Alessi to come back and being out for so long to play 90 minutes and then have to play again on Tuesday, I hope he doesn't pick up a reoccurrence of his injury. So I'd watch the space for those two having to play Tuesday straight after this match.
Does anyone know what happened to Hjelde? Because he wasn't even on the bench either as our next left back.
I don't know. When's our suspended players back? Are they not back on?
All back Tuesday. Roberts, Hume and Bellingham all back.
Right. Good.
So Hume could take Alessi's place potentially, but your forward line with Connolly going off and Isidore taking the knocks, that's a bit of a worry.
Yeah. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised with Mienda. I thought he had a great game. Really did, and it was you seem to forget because he's been pushed the back, especially with Connolly coming in as well. And it's been mentioned on this channel a couple of times. Anyway, I really, Mienda was doing all right, and he seemed to be pushed back a bit, but he's come in and maybe he thought, this is my chance. Terry?
I mean, Mienda can go straight up front on Tuesday, can't he? Because Roberts goes back into that position again. So if Connolly or Isidore is struggling, Mienda could go up and we could do 4-4.
And then Bellingham takes one of the other striker positions and you go back to how you were playing at the start.
Yeah, possibly. Aye.
Yeah, Emma, the lads who came in, do you think they did a good enough job? Did any one of them impress you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Ballard was back, which was great. I thought Ballard was just solid as per. Mienda, again, he looked really good going down the side, and he was all over it. And people are probably going to slate us for this, but I think he could potentially play there better than Robert. To be fair, just after his first half.
What are you saying?
I think there's something there with him. It's like it's twigged with him being in that position?
I don't disagree, Emma. I actually thought he looked very good there, and it might help because if we think Roberts has been playing well this season, but he's not produced in the goal contributions category that much. And if you think, has he really had anyone as competition for his place? Really, probably not. So this could actually at least be that sort of thing to drive him on to be like, actually, no, I need to step up my sort of providing for the team. So I actually did think he had a really good game. I wouldn't be annoyed if I saw Meander start on Tuesday and Roberts come off the bench later on.
Yeah, it would be a bit of a shame to drop Meander, to be fair, because I thought he had a good game.
Yeah, I just
especially with Sheffield Wednesday on Friday, Sheffield United on Friday, you don't just want to throw Roberts straight back in and then sort of anything happened to him there. You'd sort of go, okay, let's keep it with Meander. He did well. Maybe bring Roberts on, and then that's your rest again for Roberts to come back in for the game after.
Make substitutions though. That's the question.
He doesn't make subs. Yeah, you're right. Actually, sack that off. Yeah.
I'm just a massive fan of Patrick Roberts. That's all. But here we are. It's a great problem to have. You know, I mean, it's
at least it's not Pervader.
Yeah,
it's a nice position to be in.
Right. Okay. Patterson. Right. Patterson's kicking again. For me, I mean, could this potentially start causing us a problem? I mean, how difficult can it be, you know, to not kick the ball out of play? And I know we were spoiled with Jordan Pickford, whose distribution was absolutely second to none. He was brilliant and that. But I mean, am I just noticing something what's not really there? But it's, you know, he comes back in, and I don't know if it's because his shorts are too tight or whatever it is. But I don't know. Conrad, are you noticing that?
Yeah, so I had a right laugh at one point. I think we'd had like 3 or 4 goal kicks in a row from their attacks, and every one of them found the sort of touchline right next to our technical area. It was like he was trying to give them the ball to keep, wasn't it? And it was just, he picked up where he left off, because against Luton, that's all he was doing, was just smashing it out of play from every sort of clearance he did. I'm not saying Moore did any better. I think there was a couple of games recently where he was doing that as well. But it's definitely when he goes to look for the wingers, he either puts a bit too much on. He seems to put too much on it, which I'd rather give them a throw in than just drop the ball short into their midfield and instantly have them coming back at us. But yeah, the kicking became more of a worry yesterday, because you think, right, we've got a goal kick, lads. Let's keep the ball, kill some minutes, and you just go bang, right, have it back, lads. And it was just like 4 or 5 times it happened, and I remember thinking, like, we're just inviting this on, and you're not helping.
Yeah, Emma. Do you think this his kicking is going to become a problem? In fact, on the chat already, Coffee Goblin is on there. He says we need a new goalkeeping coach. Who is our goalkeeping coach? Do we know? Anybody?
I'm forgetting his name now. I'm forgetting what his name is.
That helps us a lot, that, Terry. Well done.
But yeah, we've got a goalkeeping coach, and like I say, to be fair, if the tactics are to kick them down the wing to the wingers, we need to change our tactics if it's not working. I mean, let's face it, if it's not working to stop what you're doing, we've got a big lad Isidore up top there. Kick the ball down. Let him hit the ball down to Connolly or something. I don't know, but just change tactics.
Yeah. David also on the chat says Pato's kicking has never been any good at kicking the ball out. I don't know. It's just
the short play out to the left and the right back each time where he swapped, that was fine. It just tended to be the goal kicks or the looking long just seemed to be every time was found in the stand. But their goalkeeper a couple of times, especially in the first half, when he was trying to do a long ball, just booted it straight to Patterson 3 or 4 times as well. And then he suddenly just stopped doing that in the second half. They just didn't do it again.
They had the wind behind them, didn't they?
Well, and he was dressed as the Pink Power Ranger as well, so he had extra power behind him.
I've got maybe it's a good idea. Tell Patterson to kick the ball out of play over the halfway line into touch. It might go straight.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much money he's on, but surely, you know, kicking the ball is a basic staple of a footballer, I would imagine. Terry, do you think it's going to start causing us problems if he doesn't get his act together, or what?
No, I think it's down to the head coach to change tactics. If that's the case, if he's never been a great kicker anyway. We've known that for a while. but he's good at other things. I mean, it's not often you're going to get a keeper that's brilliant at everything. If that was the case, they'll all be in the top 6 in the Premier League or in the Premier League, won't they? So he's still in the Championship for a reason. He's at a good standard, and he does well at shot stopping and different things. But for me, I think he's never going to be. If he's not a good kicker by now, I don't think he's going to be a good kicker. Full stop. So we'll have to just maybe adapt it and change it and do something different.
I just cannot say. I mean, for me, I think of all the things you had to do, I think if any of us were put in goal, I think probably one of the easiest things to do would be kicking it out. But DJ Sizzler Watson says, is David Priest still the goalkeeping coach? I haven't got a clue. If Mike was on, he'd be on his stats now. He'd be looking that up for us.
His second name begins with a P, I think.
Nah.
Or an F.
Lord, I'll Google.
Right, you do that then. Look, I'll tell you what, look, we've got 87 people watching at the moment. 47 likes on my computer down here. So we'd like to try and hit 100 if we can. We'd like to try and get 100 likes on a Sunday. So just hit that thumbs up. It'll take you a second to do that. If you're watching on a mobile device and you have the live chat open, just close the live chat. You'll see the thumbs up. Just hit that there. And more importantly, we're trying to get up to 10,000 subscribers. If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, just hit that subscribe button, that red button. Just do that. It's free to do so. And we will
what
be
are you on to now, like Phil?
We are up to...
It was 9,854 yesterday when I finished the stream.
Well, when I just... we are now 9,855. So we're 145 off that magical 10,000. So if you are watching and you're not subscribed, there's quite a few people there. I think there's even a little subscribe button in the which way did I do it?
That was right. That's right. Yep.
Yeah, in that corner down there. So if you just click on that, and there'll be a subscribe, and just click the subscribe, and we'll just love you forever. Is what we'll do. Right. All right. What about a man of the match? Who was our star performer for you, Emma?
Ooh, I'm going to give it to Mepham. I think, although he got a yellow card, I think the only thing that he did wrong was not putting his foot in for a tackle towards the end. So I'm going to give it to Mepham.
Right, okay. And Terry, for you?
And I think back to the game now, even though I had a couple of beers, I think probably Mienda took my eye. I thought he had a good game. So, yeah, I'll give it to Mienda.
Mienda for you, yeah. He was, I can see that as well. Conrad?
I actually thought Dan Neil had a class game yesterday. He broke up the play quite a good few times with him there, got us out of trouble with some simple passing and even some long balls through. I don't remember him having a lot of misplaced passes, and that's usually what we criticise him for at the moment. So the fact that I didn't even see one that highlighted up to me that sort of went, oh, he's just the same as ever. I actually thought he did a really good game. And yeah, I thought Dan Neil.
Right, okay. Like I said, for me, I do think Mienda. I was well impressed with Tommy Watson, but I've been quite impressed with Watson every time I've seen him play. I think he's for his age, he comes in and he just looks a great player.
Do we have updated table for our score predictions or not?
We do, yeah. I put it on earlier on, and I was quite happy with it because, of course, I got the correct score in the Coventry game. And I got the draw at Preston, whereas Terry, I think you got the draw yesterday, but Wayne actually got it spot on with the 1-1.
Right. Well, let's have a look at that. We do have our we do the predictions between ourselves on here. And are you ready for this, Emma?
I do need to say,
I'm
Jacob's got two asterisks next to him because once again yesterday he did not submit a score, so he was docked a further 2 points.
Well, let's have a look. Let's have a look where we're at. So this is it. This is where we're at. Oh, Conrad sitting pretty at the top there. Terry's actually gone above me. He was below me, but that's because for the first time ever in my lifetime, I actually predicted Sunderland getting beat. So
What's the matter with you, man?
I wasn't confident at all, Terry. Not confident at all, and so much so, like I say, that's the first time that I've ever gone against the lads. Really.
Well, me and Emma were right until the 93rd and a half minute. We both said 1-0.
Right.
Take it away from us, Emma.
So what we're going to do, I just want to give a mention to the sponsors of our channel for this season, which is footballprizes.co.uk. There is a link in the description. They're coming up with some fantastic prizes. And not only that, there's 2 of the prizes have already been won by our viewers. So it's well worth entering. This is the latest one from me. Have a listen to this. Hello again. We are back to tell you about another fantastic competition, which is run by Football Prizes, which is our sponsor of SAFC Fan TV. The prize this time that's being given away is a signed and framed Job Bellingham shirt. Now, it's in a very special frame this time. LED lights, it all lights up. It's all sparkly and shiny and just lovely. Nothing you can buy in the shops. It's an ideal present for Christmas if you could win this. Ideal present for a massive Sunderland fan. Also, there are 15 instant win prizes as well. Football shirts in there. Look, 9 signed shirt. Patrick Roberts signed shirt as well. And like I say, instant win prizes you can get there. The competition closes on Thursday, the 5th of December. So make sure you get your entry in as soon as possible. There is a link in the description below. Make sure you enter the competition now. You've got to be in it to win it. And once again, a massive thank you to Football Prizes for sponsoring SAFC Fan TV. There you go. And a big thank you to AI Philly on there. Right, okay. Let's move along to Tuesday. Then we're off the top in second now. We can get it all going again. Somebody's already said West Brom are having a bit of a wobble. They're quite a few draws and also slipping up as well. So Tuesday night, 8 o'clock kickoff, Sunderland versus West Brom. We've got the players coming back from suspension then. What do you change? Terry, you haven't got your whiteboard, have you?
Not handy, no. But
all right, okay, go on.
If you tell us beforehand. Right, so Luke 19 goes back in defence, replacing Ballard. Hume comes back to right back. Then we're going to have Job back in the middle. You can't drop Neil or Rig, can you? So you're going to have to go back to 4-2-3-1, I think, at the moment. And have either whichever fit strikers available up top. Now, whether you bring Roberts back to replace Mienda is entirely up to you. I'd be quite happy to give Mienda another go on that right wing, and then bring Roberts on with 20 minutes to go, whatever it is. And Isidore up top. I think you've got to bring Job back. I mean, Job for me has been the best player of the season, like on consistency. So definitely, I'd go back to the 4-2-3-1 system. West Brom, yes. Bit of a wobble, but they are a strong fit and decent side. But we've got to start winning our home games. I mean, we've gone 2 up against Coventry with the same sort of system we had. So I'm hoping that we get a couple of goals against West Brom and take a victory. We've got to start winning our home games. If we can draw every single week. We'll just drop out of the top 2. We'll drop out of the top 3. We'll drop out of the top 6. We've got to start winning our home games. Get points away. Win our home games, and we'll be happy.
Right, okay. Just quickly, before I pass this back round to you, on the chat, Danny D says, the trouble is Leeds and Sheffield United have a ton of cash they can spend. But it's not always about that. I mean, look at us. We're sitting pretty at the year, second now. But look where we are. We haven't really spent a lot of cash. It's, I think our manager's got to got to take a lot of that credit. And
we'd be third if it was actually Sheffield United were actually any good at managing their cash.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Well said, Conrad. So Conrad does the budget. Looks after the budget in his household, as you can tell. DJ Sizzle Watson says the goalkeeping coach is Alessandro
David Priest.
No. So apparently, he's
been there a couple of seasons now, I think.
Has he? Right. Coffee Goblin, the framed Job kit with lights on looks nice. Well, buy a ticket, get yourself in there. Also says Job Roberts Hume back. Howie is what he says. Emma, what about for you, the team on Tuesday for West Brom?
Well, you definitely bring Job back into the squad without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, I criticised Job last season, but I haven't found much to criticise him for this season. I think he's been one of the most consistent players on the pitch, so you've got to bring him straight back in. I'd bring Hume back in, and I'm on the same page as Terry here. Do you bring Roberts back, or do you give Mayenda that chance? But then I also think it's going to depend on if he's always picked up a bigger knock to stay out the game, and about Connolly's knock as well. I think it depends on them.
I mean, I have got to say, I mean, I've said I am a massive fan of Patrick Roberts, but I can also see that, you know, if he puts Mayenda in ahead of him, you know, you can. I wouldn't be chucking my toys out the pram.
I do notice with Mayenda, like Mayenda is a canny unit, and he does keep hold of that ball well, and nobody can push him off the ball that much. So I think that comes into handy. And I think the more game time he gets, the more confidence he gets, I think he'll be a better player.
I mean, like I say, it's just it's just a nice problem to have. Conrad, what would you do team-wise on Tuesday?
I was hoping you'd phrase it again as what would you change, and I was going to say the result. But right, yeah, what would I change team-wise? I think if you're looking to protect like Elise, especially if Serkin's going to be out for a while, there's potential to put Hume out there at left back. I know I don't really want to, but he has played out there before, but that keeps O'Neill in there. I would play Ballard because I want him to absolutely smash Josh Maja again so that he doesn't play the game. I think that was lovely last season. I'd love to see that happen again. Bellingham obviously comes back in. We push Rigg a bit further on. I'm happy with either Roberts or Mayenda. I'd like us to go with the same setup that we just did against Millwall. I think it'd be nice to have the attacking 4-4-2, as Mike Bassett would say at the stadium. I like for a change. It would be nice.
4-4.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that bit. I could do the poem though if you want, but no, I want us to actually have a go at them. I don't want us to try and be all a bit sort of respectful and a bit sort of like, oh, it's all right, we'll just edge it. We'll see who's going to get this. No, we need to go there. And like Terry says, we've got to try and win these games. Granted, we've only drawn 2 at home. Out of all of the games that we've had at home, we've won the rest, but you don't want to start slipping further and further away now.
Unless he is fit and well and he's perfectly fine, he stays where he is. But if he is struggling, would you not just put Hume on the right and move 09 to the left because he's played there as well?
He has, but I think 09 was better at right back, and Hume played a good couple of games last 2 seasons at left back and didn't look out of place in any of them, whereas I seem to remember when we played 09 at either left back or left-sided centre back, probably in the League One days is how far I'm going back, it didn't look the best, but that could be because of the partners that he had next to him. So I'm more just thinking Hume can easily swap over there, and 09's already having to move out of his natural position.
Right, okay.
But hopefully Elise's fine.
I forgot about Madger, of course.
He's going to get smashed, Dan Ballard, right through the back of him.
Could be nailed on a score, couldn't he? Because
no, didn't happen with Watmore, didn't happen with Honeyman. Ballard, 2 feet through the back, gone off after 5 minutes.
Good. Well, I like. Yeah.
I mean, a red card, by the way. He's going to be sent off for 2 foot in him, but they'll both go in the end. So necessarily.
Are we all agreeing then that it's nothing less than 3 points for this? Nobody's happy taking a draw. No, anybody?
I actually do.
5 draws. You can't be doing 5 draws.
I don't want a draw, but I do think it has draw written all over it. They've drawn 5 out of their last 6, and we've drawn 4 out of our last 6. Both not wanting to lose at this time of the season, so I do think it has a draw written all over it.
I do think. I mean, if this is our little hiccup and our little bad run, I'll take it all day because we're still unbeaten, sort of on this unbeaten.
We'd have lost the majority of these games in previous seasons.
Yeah, so it's if we are still on that bad run, and it turns out to be a draw, nobody wants that at home. But keeping this this unbeaten run, I've had this. I don't know. I'm so superstitious. I'm terrible with everything. But what I always do, I have me watch band. Every time we lose, I have to change to a different colour. Right? I've had this on for ages, and this is one of my favourites. And I thought I was praying we didn't lose because I'm off to Turkey first thing in the morning to get me real teeth, so I can wear my orange one in Turkey. But of course, we do play when we're away. While I'm away, so if we do lose on Tuesday, and I can't change me watch band unless I take
just take a spare one with you,
just in case, because they'll nag it up. Yes, Terry.
And I say what an absolute crock of shite.
Well, I know you don't believe it, but me, I've got to wear lucky underpants. I've got to have, honestly, it's got to be everything. And if I don't do these things and we lose,
It didn't help us yesterday, did it?
Well, we didn't get beat.
Didn't win either.
It's the don't lose band.
It's honestly, man. Oh, man, please don't mess with me head.
Look at
all right.
If anybody out there thinks what they do in their little bedroom affects a game of football 100 miles away or whatever it is, absolutely round the bend, you need to go to a mental asylum and get your head sorted out. I think.
Listen,
I do, Terry, because yesterday I was going, why is Alexic not getting minutes? It's ridiculous. Why is it? Hey, here he is. So it did affect what I was happening. They must have heard me.
Yeah, it's just...
You've got to get your head focused and think about reality. Reality is, if I touch this cup for 90 minutes and we win a game of football, it has nothing to do with me touching this cup for 90 minutes.
But you don't know that until you do it next time and it doesn't happen.
It doesn't. Yes, nothing at all.
So how can you explain then, Terry? How can you explain?
I can't make a play, do a good tackle all the way over and wherever they're playing. It's stupid, man. It's stupid thinking.
Terry, you explain to me then, how is it that the only time that me and Emma have done live commentaries, then we've lost? Because we're
absolute coincidence. That's just the way it is. Has nothing to do with anything.
It's because they're shit, Terry. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I need some predictions from you. So, Terry, what are we saying for Sunderland versus West Brom?
2-1 to Sunderland.
2-1 Sunderland. Emma, what are we saying?
Well, without sending Terry on a rant again, I'm going to go for a draw this time because it seems like every time I've went for a draw this season, we've won. And when I've went for the win, we've drawn. So I'm going to go back to the draws and I'll go 2-2.
But Terry,
look, you can do whatever you want in your life. It's up to you. I'm going to criticise, okay?
Emma, are you saying 2-2? Did you say?
Aye, 2-2.
Right, okay. So, but Terry, you can't argue with it because it's right what she says. No, honestly.
Look where I am in the table. Come on, that says it all, doesn't it?
If Emma had gone for a win tonight, we would draw on Tuesday, but she hasn't. So she's gone for a draw. So we're going to
talk rubbish. I'm going to tell Emma. There's much TV.
Emma. Right, Conrad, what are you saying?
I just want to say Mike in the chat has put a 5-0 win for Sunderland and says write me down. So I've put that one down for him there. I think we'll win 2-0 is what I've gone for. I do think it's probably going to be a draw, but I'm going to cards on the table. We're going to win, make up for the 2 games where we've dropped points. We're going to smash them.
Right, okay. Well, look, I'm going to go hard back to my 3-1. It's a while since we've had a 3-1. William Hill keep taking all my money off me. So we're due a 3-1. I'm going 3-1 on Tuesday. Right.
We need to do Sheffield United as well, don't we?
We'll do Sheffield United very quick because just answer this yes or no, I think, first before we start. Terry, will you be happy with a draw before kick-off?
If we win, if we beat West Brom, yes.
So, well, even if we lose to West Brom, would you not be happy with the draw before kick-off against Sheffield United away from home?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a draw to a team like that's a good draw. Yeah.
Right. Okay, Conrad.
No.
You're not happy with the draw before kick-off?
No, we've drawn too many so far. I think we actually need to start being a bit more assertive and going after these better teams.
If we can get 3 points against West Brom and get 5 points out of these 3 games, really tough games, then I think it's a pretty good haul.
Right, okay. Emma, would you take a draw before kick-off Sheffield United?
Why aye.
Right, okay. Well, Danny D says, we will beat West Brom easily and beat Sheffield United. Danny, I love you. I love your confidence. All right. But the problem is if we lose to West Brom and I'm in Turkey and I don't change my watch band, then we're in trouble against Sheffield United. Predictions. Terry, what are you saying? Sheffield United versus Sunderland on Friday?
1-0 to Sunderland.
1-0 Sunderland. Conrad, what are you saying?
I went 1-0 Sunderland as well. I have it written down here.
1-0 Sunderland. Emma?
Go for the draw, Emma. No, that'll do. Thank you. Thanks for clarifying, Mike, in the comments. He put 2-0 Sheffield United, and then he's actually put, I meant us.
Right. Emma, what did he say, darling?
0-0.
0-0. Right. Well, I think we're going to go to Sheffield United. I think we're going to have probably our best performance of the season. And I think we're going to get a 3-0 win. I think we're absolutely going to smash it. I really do.
Do you know what? If you hold your breath for 90 minutes, we might win.
Well, we've not won then, Emma. Well done.
Yeah, that's Emma's fault now.
You're breathing now.
Yeah.
8 seconds.
Right, look, okay. Listen, I want to thank everybody for joining us. We are at a time down here. If you haven't hit the like button yet, the thumbs up button, if you can just smash that for us, we would like to try and get to 100 likes. And more importantly, with the subscribe button, if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, it's free to subscribe to this channel. Just hit that and we're on our way to 10,000 if you can do that. Look, we will be back. What's happening in the week, Conrad?
We've got a live stream with Mike on Tuesday on SAFC Fan TV, and it'll probably be me and Mike on Friday night doing a live stream as well. So we've got 2 live streams of the games. Terry's not doing his, so don't tune into Mad Mistakes channel at all. He's decided he's having a week off. So just, see fireworks, he's having a week off. So just Tuesday and Friday, just join us on SAFC Fan TV.
Right.
Don't listen to what he says either. He's lying.
Yeah. Right, okay. And I'm off to Turkey to get me. These are my temporary teeth, so I'm off to get me proper ones tomorrow.
Bill, get some lucky teeth this time, will you?
The what?
Yeah, get some yellow lucky ones.
Lucky teeth. I'm gonna go a shade down. Actually, I didn't think they were that white, but I'm gonna go a little bit shade yellower. I think so. I will do that. So I think
you don't need lights in your house, do you?
Well, well, the thing is, I think what I'm gonna do is. I'm possibly going to be on next Sunday, but I'll be in Turkey. But we'll probably still be on, and we'll come have a chat with you all and discuss how we've done over the week. Well, that just about wraps it up, fellas. So, would you like to say bye to everybody, Conrad?
Bye, everyone. We'll see you on Tuesday and Friday on the channel. While you all don't go over to Terry's and join us instead.
Right, and Emma, say bye to everybody.
Bye, everyone. How are the lads?
Terry?
Goodbye, everybody, and have a nice week. Hopefully, we'll have a nice, juicy 6 points.
Yeah, right. Just about else to do. Don't forget to wear your lucky underpants, your lucky ring, your lucky watch strap, your lucky hat, your lucky scarf, and lucky everything. All right, and keep your fingers crossed as well, and your toes. So don't forget to do all that. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we'll see you. We'll see you when we're back. Don't forget, if you are a member Watch for your name on the credits at the end as it goes up. See you. Bye-bye.